Well, almost 48 hours ago, we saw lecturers of the University of Lagos troop out as they took to the streets, or rather the campus premises, protesting against some issues that we'll be looking at next. Joining us to look at these is Dr. ASUU. He's a member of ASUU and also the National Liaison Officer, right, of the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Good morning and thanks for joining us. Lecturers protesting, and we understand that examinations are around the corner in University of Lagos as well. What were your grievances?
Well, let me just say this, that I mean, what is happening in Unilag is symptomatic of the general malady that is befalling education in Nigeria. And the issues are straightforward, like we made abundantly clear during our sensitization rally. The first is what is called notional promotion. And by that, the institution means that, I mean, you can be promoted to the professorial cadre only notionally without, I mean, financial backup. That's a little bit technical because one needs to explain the process that leads into the appointment of a professor. So the idea is that the day you are prima facie qualified and your papers are submitted for assessment, that day is the due date of your appointment. Now, because of the situation in the country and the slow rate of assessment, sometimes it takes ages, I mean, for that procedure to materialize. So rather than, what Unilag does is backdate your promotion and says that they are not going to pay you, you know, for those years you have been in the waiting while the assessment was on. For ASUU, that is double jeopardy for our members. One, you are made to go through that long period of assessment, and then after you are finally assessed and, I mean, you are appointed professor, you are also not paid your entitlements that must have accrued to you over this period. And the most worrisome aspect is that in 2011, the Academic Staff Union of Universities in Unilag engaged the university management on all of these issues, promotion, basically welfare matters. And we agreed on a number of issues. And if you permit me, I want to quote some sections of that agreement.
Go ahead.
Indeed, or incidentally, the current Vice Chancellor was the chairman of that committee when he was Deputy Vice Chancellor, Management Services. And in that agreement, we both agreed, signed, that notional promotion in the University of Lagos will become a thing of the past. And that those that have been promoted to that rank since 2009 will be paid arrears.
Okay, now that is the first grievance.
Yeah.
So that's you reached some agreement on it, and it was seen that nothing has been done about it. What's the second one? The
second one is the issue of no PhD, what we call no PhD, no promotion. To become an academic staff in the university, in any university in Nigeria, all you needed to have is a master's degree. And that master's degree must be registrable for a PhD program. Now, there was a time the National Universities Commission, in blatant violation of, the university autonomy, you know, expressed the desire that for academics to do their jobs excellently well in the university, there is the need for virtually everybody in the system to bag a PhD. Now, ASUU had been in the forefront of encouraging its members to do so. Indeed, at the last National Delegate Conference, the union instituted a fund, rekindled a fund that had been instituted as grants, which most universities are not doing, to younger colleagues who are just joining the system, who may want to, you know, get their PhD as soon as possible. So in Unilag, you find individuals who are on the job 5, 6, 7 years on account of, you know, having no PhD, they stagnate at that position. In that same agreement,
is that what it is?
In that same agreement I mentioned, we agreed that because the process of getting a PhD is long and often tortuous, that the university recognizes that there are landmarks in the process of getting a PhD. So we agreed that if you are an assistant lecturer and you have successfully completed your courseworks on the program, you, subject to fulfilling other conditions, you can be promoted to lecturer grade 2. And that if you are a lecturer grade 2 and you have secured approval, which is another landmark, to write your thesis, you can be promoted to lecturer grade 1. But that unless you get PhD, you cannot then move to senior lectureship, which is the career, you know, the career position in the university.
How did we get here? Because when I went to school, I had some professors who never had PhD, but they were professors based on their, professorial theses, publications they have gathered over the years internationally and locally. So how is it that well, you got to a situation whereby you said, well, no PhD, no promotion?
Or confirmation. Like I mentioned earlier, the NUC chairman or the entire body, National Universities Commission, some few years back, just from nowhere, came up with the idea that, look, you must have a PhD or you get out of the system. That's the position of NUC. And then university administrators, particularly in Unilag, took up the gauntlet. And today they are using that as a victimization tool against our members. And it is only in Unilag that these issues are peculiar.
Why is that so? Because we also heard that some fantastic, brilliant lecturers can be on their PhD program for over 10 years. Is it that, you said torturous, is it that long?
Because you see, it's long and, like I said, torturous. You know that a PhD is supposed to be a groundbreaking research. And given the kind of environment that we have in Nigeria, and the kind of, you know, the kind of clocks that are put in the way of young academics, you can be on a PhD program. Look, it's as bad as a supervisor telling you that, look, oh yeah, you are doing well, but for now I cannot attend to this, your paper, you have to keep this in the cooler until some other day, and some other issues like that. It's that bad. And the union, as a responsible one, is saying that, look, you can't climb the ladder and having get to the top, you just pull the ladder away, I mean, for others to climb. You just pointed out that, I mean, in those days, you can't find a professor who will rise to that position without a PhD. In Unilag, as we speak, there are professors without PhD. And that's one of the problems at our union. We find it worrisome that, look, if there are professors in this same system without a PhD, why will it then be difficult to promote somebody to lecturer grade 1 without a PhD, subject to other satisfactory
So let's close this. So with the protest, sensitization, so to speak, what is the school authority saying to ASUU? Because the students are worried, knowing full well that they're already set for exams starting off next week.
You see, indeed, the sensitization rally is actually to prevent, you know, the total grounding of academic work in the university. The idea is this. If we've been discussing with the university management, they've been making promises. In fairness to the university administration, on notional promotion, they say it will soon become a thing of the past. Our worry is that we've been told that before we had an agreement. On no PhD, no promotion, something is being done, but our members are worried that for how long shall we continue to listen to something is being done? Now, this process we have commenced is the process of requesting the national body of our union to grant us permission to ground academic work in the university. As a responsible union, we don't want to toe that line. And that's why we are saying that if we had this sensitization rally, students other members of the university community, parents, you know, members of all arms of government, legislature, executive, even the presidency, Ministry of Education, NUC, all of them will become aware of the situation in Unilag and then rein in on the administration in Unilag to do what is right, to avert the looming crisis. And I think that but now they must be wearing their thinking cap.
How much of a grace period are you given?
Well, that's at the doorstep of the national body of our union. But there's going to be a next meeting of our union in a couple of weeks. And should we review this situation at that next meeting? And I mean, if the university is still adamant as they seem to be now, then the union would have no choice but to, you know, to do what we often not want to do, and that's going on strike. Well,
Dr. Dele-Ashiru will stay on this matter, and we hope that well, we wouldn't get to that path where people wouldn't be writing exams or having academic sessions in schools. Well, Dele-Ashiru is of the University of Lagos, and he is the liaison officer of Academic Staff Union of the universities in Lagos here. Well, this is where we say thank you for being such a nice company on the program today. And well, it's been a great ride all week, and we say many thanks. I'm Sulaiman Alede.
Oh, thank you for watching. I'm Maokbe Ogun.
Thank you so much for those of you that sent in comments and tweets, and thank you. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.